successor as the chair of the Stop the War Coalition, to repeat what I said this morning, that for every single one of us here, whatever party we're in, or however we vote, we'll wish Jeremy Corbyn every possible success in his campaign to be leader of the Labour Party.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and thank you to everyone for their friendship, comradeship, knowledge and support for Stop the War and all the peace causes that we have. It's very credible to think that we started Stop the War Coalition in 2001 when there was a threat of the invasion of Afghanistan. 3,000 people turned up to that founding meeting. None of us who organised that event ever thought that 14 years later we would now become a very large part of the peace movement in this country, very important factor of the whole peace landscape across the world, and here as a permanent fixture, because it appears that the war on terror has also become a permanent fixture. So as long as the war on terror goes on, as long as the wars go on, we go on, and we will not give up. Is that okay? And when we had that founding meeting, I recall very well what Bruce Kent said about one war leads to another, and one war leads to another, which leads to more victims. More victims lead to another war, and so it goes on. The ultimate victims of those wars are what? Afghan refugees dying in the sea, trying to get to Indonesia or Australia to be sent to some offshore island where they'll be processed and imprisoned for having the temerity to seek asylum in Australia. People that have managed to travel all around the Middle East, escaping from Iraq, or Syria, or Lebanon, wherever the war happens to be, Palestine, managed to get to Libya, a totally dysfunctional country thanks to Western bombing of it. And then they try and travel on leaky, dangerous vessels across the Mediterranean. And eventually, well done the Italian Navy for Operation Nostrum to defend people, well done them, they tried very hard and they did save a lot of lives. They were then told by the European Union the priority was protecting Europe's borders from these people. So they set up a defence force to keep the migrants away. Fortunately, eventually there was such a level of shame that there's now some sort of search and rescue operation going on. But in Parliament this week, when we raised this matter with David Cameron, what does he say? We've got to be very careful. Some of these people are migrants. And some of these people want to stay. And therefore, we will pluck them out of the water, dry them off, and send them back. Sorry, those people are victims, in part, of wars that we have created. That is the reality of what war actually does. And again, this week in Parliament, Tory MP after Tory MP got up and said, we've got a big navy, we've got a big air force, we've got nuclear weapons, we've got a big army, we can do it. We might be one of the sort of smaller countries in the world with a population of 65 million, but we're the fourth biggest arms spender in the world.